And I see a lot of messaging about, I want to homeschool my kids, but I'm struggling with a friend group. I'm struggling with extracurriculars. Good morning. It is 7:50 on a Tuesday morning, and it is the last week of school for my homeschool program. I'm working diligently toward reopening next year with a new and dynamic program. In the meanwhile, I am recovering from a really fun week. So a really fun week of theater, having the kids on stage. We don't have classes when we have production week because of all the rehearsals and etc. I'm gonna claim that it was a really successful week because it was. The children got on stage. They did not embarrass themselves. They made us look good. It was a lot of work for me. When kids are anxious, their emotional regulation sometimes goes out the window. And there's always at least one who is struggling with the pressure of acting and being on stage and performing in the moment. For some kids, go a week isn't all go. It's a lot of stops and starts. And so I am tired, but I think overall my students are happy. I see a lot of messaging because I'm on a lot of homeschool message boards, and I go through homeschool Reddits, and I see a lot of messaging about, I want to homeschool my kids, but I'm struggling with a friend group. I'm struggling with extracurriculars. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that you want your kids in the arts. I don't care if it's piano, you can put them with a piano teacher, you can put them in group music classes, you can put them in a chorus, you can put them in visual art classes, you can find some art clubs, or you can just go full hog, classical theater, whatever. Nothing teaches a child what they are capable of like theater. This year we had a 8-year-old because we let in a couple of younger siblings into the show. So we had an 8-year-old in the named role of Julius Caesar. It's not the main role, but it's definitely the named role of Julius Caesar. And he was like, I'm gonna try, this seems interesting. I'm gonna try this. And halfway through the week, he declared, oh no, I'm an actor now. This is who I am, this is who I'm gonna be. And I think it was because of the confidence of his ability to memorize and recite his lines. This was the first time that I believe he was required to do this. And he surprised himself with the strength of his mind and his will to conquer that insurmountable task of memorizing a bunch of lines for a show. I am horrible at memorizing, which is funny because I'll write a play, I'll direct a play, I produce our plays, but I don't act because I forget the lines. I get nervous, I forget the lines. So to see children do something that I personally am not able to do is outstandingly amazing to me. Also, just to see them overcome their fears and think that they can't do it, and think that they're going to be embarrassed, think that they're going to mess up, and think that they're going to be judged, and then pull through and come to life on stage when they get in front of an audience. It's an ego booster. I feel like nothing will teach a child what they are capable of better than performing with their friends on stage. And it may lead to a career or it may not. A lot of young thespians end up in other performance type fields, right? Business, because you have to stand up and present to people. And so I'm just here to say, I highly recommend that homeschoolers look into getting their kids on stage in some capacity. And then if your child is a wallflower and is not the stage type, I highly recommend musical instruments. Same kind of overcoming and outdoing what they think they can do. The arts in general are important to academic development. Instruments wire their brain for math, piano, whatever, what have you. And so I find that very important. I made sure my kids were on the piano as young as humanly possible. And while they didn't love math, they put up with it and they did it well enough, pretty good, to get into college with scholarships, so they're not mathematicians, but it helped them do something that they really didn't care for. So for all you people out there who are looking at homeschooling and trying to figure out when and how to expose your kids to other kids, if you're not going to join a homeschool program, a homeschool co-op, a micro school, whatever, if you want to be fully in charge of the academics, and so you're not going to put your kids with other kids for the academics, I didn't either, then look into arts programs in the homeschool communities, and even outside of the homeschool communities, to put your kids in, to enrich their lives in that way. Of course, they're going to be the athletes. Athletics and arts don't necessarily mix once they hit middle school, because both disciplines are time consuming. But if your child is an athlete, then this is High School Musical. It's going to be hard to do both. But I would still start the young ones out in the arts and in the sports leagues, honestly, just to figure out who they are and what they're going to gravitate toward. So I hope I answered this common question about, hey, my kid is going to be homeschooling, and I'm really nervous about them having outside activities and friends. That's all. Until next time.